Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to El Más Chingón de Todos los Chingones, live from the epicenter of cold. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. And now I'm going to take a little puff pass over to my co-host with the ma-host, the hostess with the smoke sticks, my fair lady, Ja. What's up, baby?
What's up, Bruce? What's up, people? It's Friday night. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. It is January 22nd, 2016. This fucking year is going by just as fast as the old one, I'll tell you that. Isn't it?
Yeah, just
it's
like
insanity.
our shows. Every time we're
crazy.
on, it's like we start and then it's like over.
No, it's only 1 hour.
Yeah, but when we started doing damage control and I did your show back in the day, it went by very fast. Like, I've done a lot of shows with a lot of people and it never went by that fast.
That's because we are a revolutionary force in alternative media, folks. And like I said, it's January 22nd, 2016. And you're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. And it's insanity. Okay, this year we're taking on the New World Order head first, folks. You see provocateurs out there ordering dildos in Oregon, all sorts of insanity. And didn't I go toe to toe like Manny Pacquiao, toe to toe with the spokesman? Didn't I go toe to toe with him?
With the whole Bundy family? Yep.
Isn't he like Ted Bundy's like cousin or something?
Supposedly, I mean,
it looks like him, right?
Like him.
And look, you got a PhD. So that's one.
Not a PhD.
You got a PhD, whatever. You have a PhD in spotting.
I got a PhD in being a thug.
That's right.
Yes, but no, I'm an artist, so I have a really keen
And you said this guy looks like Ted Bundy. That's the thing with me, folks. I mean, she's the doppelganger king. You see, she can spot out. She exposed all the Nazis, folks. You go to the StratfordWars.com command center, and they have an homage to her doppelgangers. I mean, it even turns out you're part reptilian. Is that
something like that. But listen, you know, maybe that's the reason why I could do this. But it really is my investigative research, because what got me going was I kept seeing the same crew. Like, why is the same crew that's in Nevada now in Oregon, right? And it's like they're like disjointed, disconnected, seemingly disconnected people. And now they're like hanging out like they're brothers, right? And I'm
they're
wait
hanging
a
out
second.
like Brokeback Mountain. Okay, they're ordering a bunch of dildos in the snow. They're a bunch of freaking queers. They're doing snow penises out there. Instead of doing snow angels, they're doing snow penises. They're a bunch of fanooks.
Yeah, but I think so. But they look like each other. So I'm like, wait a second. Their beards are. Wait, I
got nothing against gay people, folks. I'm a libertarian, but these guys, they're like bull queers. You seen that movie?
I thought he liked that.
You seen that movie? The Shawshank Redemption, the sisters. That's exactly what you got in Oregon, folks. You have the sisters, and they're going around, and the sisters are now ransacking the joint, folks. No different than CIA Islam or CIA ISIS.
But what are they doing?
ISIS.
Now they're going
around stealing shit over there in Oregon.
They're stealing from the Native Americans.
Hey, these guys are true scumbags. And you know what? If you ever come within 2 inches of me, I will use deadly force. I will use deadly force, man. I will give you the razor's edge. Do you hear me?
Listen,
your fucking
they got no reason to be near you. You got nothing.
What are you talking about? Let me tell you something. You're absolutely
wrong.
You're absolutely wrong. This is part of the Operation Phoenix conducted by the CIA, and guess what? They are part of a assassination squad.
Oh,
that's what I'm telling you. But let me tell you, folks.
How can you be sure of that?
Look, it gives you do the research. Or Google it. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. And I'm not stealing from some dead fat guy that was a demolay. Okay, that's just common sense. Okay, and I want to talk about.
You saw Blackwater on their hats.
Absolutely, yeah. And I saw Blackwater patches in the first second of 13 hours, where they're so confused, folks. I mean, it was an arms deal. Okay, it was a CIA illegal arms deal to arm ISIS in Libya. To arm Al-Qaeda in Libya. That's what it was. But they're just so confused.
You saw the Blackwater over
You saw the
Nevada?
patch. You see that same patch.
And you see it
everywhere. Every time they do some type of promotion. You see the Blackwater Patch. You see it at Sandy Hook. I mean, it's like they're part of some cabal. You see it at the Boston bombings. These dangerous guys. And America, Oregonians, okay, they think you're pussies. So you better strap up. And if they come near you, I say you get tactical and you put two to their chest. Because these guys mean business. They're all criminal provocateurs. And they need to be dealt with.
And they're working with the FBI.
And they're working with the FBI. You see them on YouTube, right?
I saw them on
They're
video.
like shaking hands.
Yeah, the FBI walked up to them. Hey, nice to meet you.
Fucking Masonic handshake right there.
Nice to meet you. To the guys talking. They said, oh yeah, they told me to come to you. And you know what got me is that when I was looking up Ammon, because I was like, what's up with him? I don't know.
Don't they have a Nazi called Ammon Goeth?
Well,
or
Google
Goeth,
gave
or
me
whatever
that.
the hell his name is.
Geth or something. Goeth. What happened was that I was looking up pictures only of Ammon Bundy. And Google...
Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy Illuminati Ranch.
Yeah, so Ammon Bundy, I'm looking up him in the pictures, just for plain old pictures of this guy, see what he's about, and there it was, like the second row in is a Nazi shot. And he was a Nazi shot of a guy named Ammon, because the name was the same. So I pulled it up.
Folks, you pulled it up.
It was in the third row. Google gave it to me.
You got it.
Ammon. So he was named after Ammon Goeth, who is a Bundy.
Definitely. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We take on the scum head on. I mean, we're like fighters fighting in the NWO's ring. I mean, the NWO is like a fight promoter, folks. And they're not going to give us the title shot. Let me tell you that. Because you know why? You don't have the right blood, don't you? And that's the thing. I can't say 100% that all these doppelgangers are it. But to me, it's like probable cause.
I mean, he's hanging out with them.
Let me tell you something. To me, it's like a hypothesis. Even that Nazi Carl Sagan says something about if you have extraordinary claims, you need extraordinary proof.
Isn't that extraordinary proof? Tell me about the nose.
Well, they do say that a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Okay,
and that's why I don't discount doppelgangers. And you know what's funny? We're watching a movie.
They're all hanging out together.
You know what's funny?
Still.
We're watching that one movie of that
hatefully.
Melissa McCarthy or whatever that fat chick. The CIA agent or something.
Oh yeah, that's hysterical.
And then what she did was she talked about doppelgangers. So I thought it's just pivotal, fucking pivotal of just how doppelgangers are exploding in mass popularity.
Yeah,
they're just putting them all over movies, and that's
we're
one
setting
thing.
It up.
I mean,
we're setting up the trend in a way.
You are a trendsetter with these, and I mean, you went to Cooper Union Art School. That's why I don't discount your findings.
Aesthetics. Yeah, you shouldn't, because I can draw people perfectly. I take photographs of people that are in museums. So
you're in museums as well. That's why I don't discount you. But you have to understand I have an investigative mind.
Okay.
And I need absolute evidence. But this, to me, is probable cause that they're related to fucking Mussolini, Benito, freaking Nazi Gambino, whatever the hell. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is in the pudding. These guys are part
They're made men. They're made men, and they're part
CIA
of a secret
operation.
And of a secret cabal. Okay, they're given different identities at will. That's just like, you can even see it in almost every single movie. They make a joke, oh, we'll just give you a new identity. We'll just give you a new identity.
And here's the thing I wanted to touch up on, Ja, is that there's guys out there that use these doppelgangers to dilute and distort information. And they're out there. They're these disinfo doppelganger agents, like these Dallas troll bugs, or whatever the hell they accused me of being like. I mean, most of the time it's your artistic mind coming up with these doppelgangers. It's your visions. And I look at them as probable cause. I tell you, it's like a hypothesis to me, even though I don't discount your artistic prowess and your vision and your eye, your investigative eye, but you got to look at it my way.
This is what I think about Dallas Goldberg.
There's these guys that just dilute the freaking thing.
This is what I think, and I think that there's a cloning thing that really is going on. And they do keep, and it's even
Dallas
been,
troll bug.
And this guy, Troller, he's a disinfo agent. Because I looked at some of his material, and I was like, oh, well, that's kind of right, and that's kind of, it's like, wow, that is so wrong. And I'm like, and that is so, so wrong. And but that kind of is right. But you see, that's the thing with Dallas Goldberg. He's there
troll bug.
He's there to dilute the whole reality You see, there's a reality going on. And the reality is severe nepotism at the highest level.
And these things can be proven with history, folks. I mean, you have Operation Paperclip. I mean, the Nazis never lost the war, okay? This is living proof. You don't need to watch The Man in the High Castle to know what's going on. Just study your history. You'll see that there's a shadow government, a secret Nazi space program. I mean, they're running wild, folks. These Nazis are running wild all over you. It's Nazimania. Oh, yeah, brother.
Well, you know,
that's what's going on.
There's a town in Brazil. It's in the south. It's in the south of Brazil, do Sul, Rio Grande do Sul.
Oh, that's so sexy how you said that. Say it again.
Rio Grande do Sul.
Yeah.
And it's Rio Grande South. And it's where Mengele kind of went off to. And it's a town that...
You know, it's funny, his name, Mengele. That's funny. Anyway, Mengele. Yeah, that freaking ugly Tex Mars-looking bastard. Okay, and that's not to give that guy press either. Go to exposednewsalternative.wordpress.com, folks. And also be sure to check out just the coupon codes over at espymall.com. All right? But anyway, you're checking out this Mengele, whatever.
So, you know, it says that this town is called Candido Godoy, and it's in the south of Brazil, and there's the highest birth rates of twins. And this particular town has said to have Mengele. And to this day... There's something that's going on in that town that there's almost like 1 in 5 births are twins, even today. And they look like the Olsen twins. I don't know, you said they look like the Olsen twins, but it could be. I mean, it's a whole line of blonde hair, blue eyes, you know. But that's what it is. They wanted to use the master race and a certain bloodline. They wanted to make sure that you were part of this cabal.
And that's what I commend about your doppelgangers, is that you don't dilute the information. You try to dig. You try to
understand,
do the research and connect the dots as to where these guys come from, who these people are, and most of the other guys are just
being stupid,
creating smoke screens.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll say that like
Phoenix. The truth.
They say like Phoenix, River Phoenix is Mark Dash's cousin, but this is like the same person, and it's not the truth. I mean, I looked at them and I said, oh wow, this is a whole hoax.
They look like they're related.
But they're related. They're not. To me, I looked at them and I could see why they would try to. But they play off of people's intelligence. And once you have like a whole disinfo campaign, and that's what these people do. They create disinfo campaigns to dilute the truth, so you can't figure out what the truth is.
It's a cover up. It's a cover up, and that's the thing. America buys it hook, line, and sinker because America's just getting dumber and dumber. Now to transition, what'd you make of that whole stupid ass Sarah Palin who comes up with the stupidest things? Anytime that woman opens her mouth, it's like complete and total stupidity. Now this doofus, this idiot that can see Russia from across, you know, her backyard, is now endorsing this dumbass chump.
This is what I think. The two of them would be great talk show hosts. They would compete with Howard Stern. And they should have a big company and they should hire us. That's what I think. But to be politicians personally, I mean, really, Donald Trump...
Did you hear some of the things that are coming out of this woman's mouth? I mean, all she's talking about is, like, what's she talking about? Pussy and ass and bending over. I mean, this woman...
Slurping.
I mean, this woman's taking cues. I don't know if she's taking cues from either Tina Fey or that one porn star spin-off there was of her. That Palin or whatever.
Right, when they did that on Saturday Night Live.
No, really, it's instead of Lady and the Trump, it's Lady and the Tramp. It really is Lady and the Trump.
What's up with that? Like, I officially am the person who named Trump the Trumpster, okay? Now, it's okay that Rush Limbaugh took it. It's okay that everybody else wanted to take it. It's cute, because actually I have the right to do that, because I work with the Chubster, in case you didn't know. Not that I'm trying to give that nigga press or nothing like that, because he owed me some money, alright?
Oh, but
we ain't getting funny like
seriously, this woman, this money, this woman, Sarah Palin, is seriously redefining stupid. redefining stupid every time she opens her mouth. Here's one of her stupid-ass quotes. She said, Obama has already made people less responsible, Obamacare, for their own health. Like, if you don't want Lyme's disease, then don't eat so many limes.
Oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding me? You know, I saw this one series she was in called Game Changer, and I think Julianne Moore gave her way too much credit. I mean, this woman is a complete and total imbecile. She's probably the stupidest woman to ever don the Republican fat-ass elephant
I'd like
mask.
to see her writing, like an essay that she wrote without help. You know what I'm saying?
She doesn't write anything. The woman is a complete fool.
What is this? Sarah Palin's son arrested after a wild night of gun wielding and drunken domestic violence. What is this crap? You know, like just another day for the Palin. That was yesterday. Unfreaking believable.
No, these people are complete and total just imbeciles, charlatans. I mean, Trump, don't even get me started, folks. I mean, you have all the people in alternative media going ape shit over this guy. This guy is just a rich socialist. He's part of the 1%. I don't buy this fat cat's freaking talk at all. What is it? Didn't they try to put a wall over in East Berlin once? Didn't they try
East and West
to label the Jews with those stars and everything, or some type of identification, which is what Trump wants to do to the Arabs that only slang halal turkey on the sidewalk?
Yeah. There was a lot of things that Trump said.
This guy is Hitler's freaking wet dream.
He's unbelievable.
Doesn't he read Mein Kampf every night?
He said he wanted to build a wall around the Mexicans.
Oh, let me tell you something. Palin, that name alone sounds like a little Latin chola whore's name. Palin.
What does that mean?
You know what I'm saying? Look, that's his latest hoe. That's Trump's latest hoe. I mean, you know he's got mad hoes. Doesn't he run that beauty pageant? Isn't he giving out like panties and pink panties and all sorts of like just degenerate attire that you know Las Vegas is known for? Right? Okay. All that swanky, skanky shit.
He was what? Passing out used underwear, neon colors.
He was giving away like packages of lingerie for his beauty pageants.
When was that?
To entice them into sleeping with this guy, sleeping with that guy,
he had that friend that was a Turkish wealthy yacht.
He's a total sleazeball. I can see why this hoe, freaking Sarah Palin's all over this guy. It's her new Mac Daddy, right?
This is what he said. I'm calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what is going on. Okay. Then he said, why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? Because you do a really good Trump. Here, say that. An extremely credible source. This is what he said. I
have it right here. He says, I'm calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives, who are stupid, can figure out what's going on. All right, and this is another of one of Trump's most stupidest quotes here. He says, an extremely credible source has called my office and told me that Barack Obama's birth certificate is a fraud. How is it a fraud, you stupid schmuck? Why? Because it doesn't say Frank Marshall Davis on there? I mean,
he doesn't tell you why or
this
how.
This guy's an imbecile.
He just goes
Trump
ahead.
is an imbecile. You hear me? Trump, you are an imbecile, all right? I bet you would have Hitler wipe his schlunts all over you, and you'd love it, right?
Oh, he probably has real Hitler paraphernalia. He's probably got souvenirs all over his wall.
Here's another thing. Didn't this guy say that he's glad that there could be global warming? Because he probably hates this storm more than ever. Snowzilla. I mean, we're practically snowed in right now.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling this storm, Snowzilla. And you have this idiot Trump who said that he would support global warming because it would, make for better weather here in this frigidly cold New York.
Speaking of global warming, the president...
It doesn't exist.
The president of the Museum of Natural History was fired this week, from what I understand, because he stood up to the fact that he believed that... He was vocal about the fact that global warming was not real. He said that vocally, and then he lost his job. It was big news.
Here's the Trump quote right here. My fingers. Oh no, that's a different one. He said he's got beautiful fingers. You hear this freaking fanoik? Here's what he said about the global warming. He said, "It's freezing and snowing in New York. We need global warming." You hear that? That's your Donald Trump, who said that all you stupid Republican idiots that listen to Fox News will believe anything he says just because he's on Fox News. This guy is the most fascist, the most militaristic scumbag ever. And seriously, ladies and gentlemen, you need to feel the Johnson. You just need to go and just reach for that Johnson.
That dengue?
Dengus? The dingus, just like Samuel L. Jackson. And we're going to get to the Oscars.
Does the dingus have dengue?
We're going to get to the Oscars. I'm glad you mentioned dingus because, I'm endorsing Gary Johnson for president, and that's what he's going with. And here's another thing. You want to talk about endorsing politicians. I don't know what's happening to the epicenter of cold, folks. It's become communist out here. Every time I look out my freaking window in Brooklyn, I have Black Lives Matter marching down the street. And now they're feeling the burn over at our chicken joint, and that commie bastard Bernie Sanders is eating at our chicken joint down the street.
No, I'm not going to that chicken joint anymore. First of all,
I know you got some beef with this chicken joint.
Well, first they double the cost of your macaroni and cheese that you like, and they gave you half as much, literally half as much.
That pisses me off.
And they doubled the price. I was like, wait a second. I couldn't believe it. And then they cut the chicken and they up and whatever. I don't really care. It's not that interesting. I'd rather cook myself organic.
What do you expect? I'm Bernie Sanders. I figured there should be a redistribution of the chicken throughout the entire community, and the chicken should be distributed properly between individual and individual. And I have my hands in your pockets, and I'm Bernie Sanders, and I like your chicken.
Yeah. These guys are all jokes.
Ugh. I think they're not as bad as the mentally ill homeless people in camo ordering dildos in Oregon. I tell you that.
Yeah,
are they as bad as mentally ill? No, he's worse. He's worse. No, in no way was that an endorsement.
That's nice. That was.
He's eating chicken down the street. He's not. He's just trying to steal your money with socialism and Marxism. You need to watch out for that. But these goons over in Oregon, they're robbing ancient Indian antiquities over there now. They got to be dealt with. They're shaking hands masonically with the FBI. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the truth movement. I'm in the alternative media. I'm not supposed to side with army psyops. That's right. Stupid psyoped bastards.
The amazing thing is, Bruce, is that these videos are in plain view for their public. And they're not colluding in secrecy. It's out in the open now. And it just, you know what?
These idiots.
Do they not see it? Is it just that, it goes...
They not see it. That's what they are.
They're Nazi,
a bunch of neo-Nazi scum.
Did they neo-Nazi see it? Ha ha.
That's right. Oregon, stand off my ass. You know what it is? Now we're going to get into the Illuminati Oscars exposed. That's another thing that grinds my gears, folks. And who better to talk about, these scumbags in the industry than someone that knows a little bit about the industry and has lived here long enough, right next to Spike Lee's stupid ass. What do you make of this whole boycott the Oscars thing? And I know that there's Illuminati symbolism all over the Oscars. You just have to look at the golden Oscar. That's why it's so racist, folks, because they're Pleiadians. They think they're from the star system of Draco, these Nazis in power. Don't they think that they have these lullabies that they lull people to sleep with? That's why the Oscar itself is based. It's not that the Oscars are white, folks. The Oscars might as well be Egyptian. I'll tell you why, because the Oscar represents the Egyptian deity Ptah and Osiris. It represents Osiris. Okay, that's Illuminati 100%. Look at how they did the Oscars this year, where it says the Oscars. It's got a giant triangle. You see that? A giant triangle and then Osiris right under it. Could it get any more Boule, Illuminati than that?
No. It's very...
And then you have these
everywhere you look
these actors.
Yeah.
Like Jada Pinkett, who, folks, if you are a fan of Batman, you are literally crying when you watch the series Gotham and you see her horrendous acting in that thing.
Okay, the problem I had...
She should boycott her own freaking scenes in Gotham, right?
Right.
That's what I think.
Listen, the whole pushing. Why is she pushing for
Why is Jada Pinkett?
Homosexuality?
Wasn't she kissing on all sorts of girls?
Yeah,
and now you have that.
Girls
you
to
have
kiss
that
each
tranny.
other.
What is it? Courtney Cox's old sister-in-law. That one of the Arquette trannies, talking about that Will Smith is gay.
Alex.
That Will Smith is gay. She dropped a major bombshell. There's a video on YouTube where they're talking about this insider that got him the gig with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that. One of these sleazeballs that'll get you the gig, but he wants to show you his dingus.
Medina?
Yeah, they said that
he got dingus fever
that he had the dingus fever for Benny Medina. So now you know why Will Smith is getting jiggy with it. You know what? Didn't Will Smith say he wanted to be the president? He wanted to run with Kanye as his vice president. It's not happening, folks. You're not gonna have two gay niggas back to back with Barack and then freaking gay ass Will Smith right next to each other. I mean, this is the boule. They're gay, folks. It rhymes for a reason. The boule is gay, and gay people make a lot of. And of course, it's okay, but these people are just evil.
No, it's the same thing with the
vindictive bastards, and you have it in the military too. You have to admit, gays have taken over the acting aspect, and then the military-industrial complex.
So you have the pink triangle. You have the pink triangle in the military. In the white boy club here, in the our worlds, whatever the fashion world, it would be the Lavender Club. It would be the Lavender Club, and
right.
I don't know. I don't know if blacks and Latinos are in that as well. But then there is the boule, which is primarily the black people, so African American. I'm sorry.
And I don't know what they're complaining. I mean, didn't Denzel win a freaking Oscar? Didn't Whoopi Goldberg win a freaking Oscar? They're great actors. Exactly. Well, what are they complaining about when every rapper that comes out, they want to talk about, straight out of FBI COINTELPRO Compton got snubbed. Straight out of COINTELPRO Compton got snubbed. They want to talk about that when all the rappers today basically are gay. And they put on a pink freaking wig and they walk out in pink freaking slippers. I mean, that makes for a good movie. And then you have Sammy J, who might as well be like the Red Ranger and be a freaking gay porn star now, and they want that to be nominated for an Oscar. Nope. That Hateful Eight freaking gay love scene. I mean, what do they expect? And then you have Jada Pinkett tonguing women on Gotham, and then Will Smith getting banged out.
Or 50 Cent in that movie Spy, right, where he was, maybe he should have won an Oscar.
A girl tried to kiss him, and he was like, ugh.
Because the girl tried to kiss him, you get it? And
that's because it wasn't me, Mike Tyson. if it would have been me, son, he would have been like, yeah, like P. Diddy.
If he would have seen your booty, he would have been
Please just stop right there. Anyway, you see it right away. You see this, it's in Laurel Canyon. They're evil as hell. They had the Process Church there. The whole Nazis and LSD are there. They're all tripping on their own little witchcraft Nazi cult in the expensive bungalows.
Orgies.
Okay.
I have a book of an...
that's exactly how they worship Satan.
Terry Rogers.
These people are Luciferians of the highest order, and they're part of this esoteric secret cult where they worship these Egyptian deities. And it's just a sick and disgusting party where a stupid-ass advocate for global warming like Leonardo DiCaprio can get an Oscar for being raped by a bear, for having a love scene with a bear, with a female bear that basically put a freaking strap on him and was like, I mean, that is so fake, folks. Look, I was in Yosemite drinking Seagram's gin, right, hanging out, and I literally could have been killed by a bear. I mean, he ran right by me, and I just stood there and I was like, I was ready to throw down with that bear, but let me tell you something. In the Santa Barbara Mountains or something or whatever in California, this lady got hit by a bear in the face. She got slashed.
Baby bear.
By a baby bear, and half her face was hanging off. So when I'm seeing this scene from DiCaprio and he's getting thrown around and the bear's rubbing his nipples and putting his little bear claws over his little face, all gentle.
Licking him.
I mean, it's just complete and total load of potatoes to me.
He would have been killed.
Oh, are you kidding me?
A few slices in his bag.
It was a love scene. It was a love scene.
That movie
That's
was
why
so
Lady MK
boring.
Ultra should have shoved an elbow right in his eye instead of a little love tap. She should have just thrown a freaking WWF elbow in his eye. Next time, make sure you hit him in his eye, Lady MK Ultra. How's that?
Speaking of Lady Gaga, and the whole idea of the one eye. I was just seeing on one of my good friends' Facebook. She showed me what's going on at every single books all over everybody, all over the newsstands. Is David Bowie, and one of the and
that's a complete total death hoax
because he's kind of famous for that one eye.
Did they secretly cremate that guy? And then here's how I know for a fact it's a death hoax. Suddenly they discovered in a California university existence of a ninth planet because they demoted Pluto, and now they found existence of the Masonic planet of folklore that stands in between the two Masonic pillars, Jachin and Boas, that little black planet. Now they found Nibiru, ladies and gentlemen. What did Bowie title his last song, his last album, Black Star, which is basically symbolic of the Black Planet, Planet X, Nibiru. It's just a complete and total hoax. You have to be enlightened yourself to know that they're hoaxing you. Mm-hmm. That's why you got to do your own research. That's why you'll smell bullshit every time. Oh, yeah, David Bowie died. No, bullshit.
Is there money to be made? Oh, yeah.
That's when they make the most money, is when they're dead, because everybody wants to buy their crappy freaking albums. I mean, that guy just promoted being fruity more than anybody. I mean,
and he was probably straight.
It was like the fruitiest freaking bastard. And that played out in Velvet Goldmine, too. That's another thing. But we talked about that last week.
You know what? I don't really know about Bowie's sex life for real. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really around.
Looks squirrely to me.
Listen.
He looks just as squirrely. Bruce, he looks just as squirrely as Will Smith.
Bruce,
sleeping with Benny Medina.
He was the first person to come out to say he was gay or whatever like that. Which is cool. But at the same time, what's weird is that I think he was really straight, which is why he was with Iman. What's strange to me is the whole agenda. Like, for me, Lady Gaga, I think she had to come out and say she was gay or whatever, or bi or something. All right, I think Nicki had to do that too. And it was just like, dudes, like, okay, what are you? And then she's with, like, normal, like, guys and stuff, like, anyway, for real. So, like, I just wonder, like, why they have to? That's what it is, right? You have to push that unisex agenda. Is that what it is? You can't come out like a straight person. That's really what it is.
That's exactly what happened to you in the music industry. You discovered that basically there is a secret cabal, and many of them are homosexual. And that's, again, I'm a libertarian, folks. I don't care what they do in your bedroom. But, I mean, I'm also an alpha male. I pound my chest. I sound like I should be part of the revolutionary force and the Raw is War, and you know what I'm saying, like those bygone attitude era days. I bring the attitude, okay, and it's not fake. I'll kick your ass in public too if you come across me like one of these Oregon freaking provocateur COINTELPRO agents try to come across me in the street. I'll kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're gonna. You don't have a house to steal or land to steal. They're only out for like large properties where they can actually mine because they're digging. There's gold and there's turquoise beyond those in those properties, and there's oil and certain. And they know where that is because of HAARP.
I'm kicking their ass every time I go on air and I advocate for the CIA to be abolished, for this paramilitary group that has now deemed the American citizens to be terrorists. They're going after you, folks. They're going after me. The Navy put out a talking point stating that they now deem American citizens to be domestic threats, threats to national security. You, the American citizen. They also passed the NDAA this year, or I think just before the year ended. So they're getting ready for you, folks. And these goons, They put them in Baltimore, they put them in Oregon, they put them anywhere, folks, because it's all part of the continuation of that Jade Helm thing. Okay, they're mobilizing against you, they're mobilizing against me, and I'm doing my patriotic duty every time I go on this mic to tell you to wake the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce is very right, but, I also don't think that we're in as much fear as most of everybody.
No, there's a bunch of fear mongers in alternative media. They'll want to tell you that they're going to take your guns when really they can't do that. And if you read the documents, because they they prey on people's fear because they think they don't read. If you read the documents, they're just enhancing these retarded, draconian, unconstitutional background checks. But they're not really taking your guns. But you also see these guys mobilizing these Blackwater, these provocateurs, these criminals, these cons, working to infiltrate the American populace.
Yeah, and they gather data on people to see.
And they're working with the NSA. The NSA was funded by Satanists. It was founded by Satanists. The military has the Temple of Set. They're all a bunch of freaking Satanists.
I was in Fort Hood, and I saw the temple. I saw the Satanic Temple. They even have a Satanic cemetery right there, I think. You know, like, it was really weird. They said that there's a lot of people that go to the Satanic Church in Fort Hood. I have photographs of Fort Hood. You know, haven't exhibited them yet.
I mean, these people are insane, folks. You talked about Mangla earlier. I mean, his research continues and lives on with people like DARPA, with agencies like DARPA who have these just insane cases of genetic engineering. I mean, they're growing humans in cows. They're growing human organs and harvesting human organs in pigs. I mean, it is absolute insanity. They're
DNA.
testing RFID, and they have been testing RFID chips and sonar chips that can implant messages into the human brain on inmates. You know, they're not going to say anything because they're guinea pigs, folks. But they've been doing this. And it's all part of the Defense Intelligence Agency, all part of this Project Scan A. I mean, literally, I think we would be part of some freaking, you know, mind control program. No, not mind control program, but mind reading program where they would, you know what I'm saying? Well, like a remote viewing program. Because I have the power to remote view anything the New World Order does. Oh, yes. Because I look at the documents. I don't need to be a freaking psychic, even though I think I have extraordinary powers of observation, folks. I literally do. And I bring them to you live every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's right. Yeah, so, but back to that whole doppelganger issue, you know, it's really, a lot of it is using that psychic intuition. Because it's not, they say that the best, we just saw a movie the other day with the FBI. It's called Solace with Anthony Hopkins, and it was about a psychic who worked with the FBI, and there is like an acceptance maybe with that show Medium, you know, with the psychic, that crime series where it's brought to the pub. I think that people are generally psychic. I think we can read each other's minds personally.
Absolutely. From birth, when you're a child, you have these psychic telekinetic powers almost, you know, as a baby. But when you're learning language, you incrementally start just being deprogrammed from your abilities. I mean, scientists today can't even configure the full potential of the human brain. Right.
I mean, I'm not really having a problem with the capabilities of my brain. You know, I'm not worried about what I don't know.
Well, they say they don't understand its capabilities yet 100%. It has dormant powers that we are yet to be aware of.
Okay, and I think one of them...
They're still studying the brain.
Right, and I think one of them is being able to communicate with the conscious minds, with the people that are alive. I believe that, and I think that there's enough, I find enough kind of resonance in my real life that has indicated it. I mean, even somebody on eBay the other day said to me, wow, you must be psychic. Like, how did you know such and such was arriving today, for example? So, like, and on a daily...
Oh, because you do the logistics of things. You understand where this is going and where it's going to be, and that's exactly what the scientists understand now, where they're going and where they're going to be in the future with this article I have right in front of me, folks. Scientists create tiny brain implant that dissolves inside the body. Scientists have created a brain implant about the size of a grain of rice, which dissolves inside a patient's body after monitoring temperature and blood.
Okay, so what's scary is that maybe
Motorola's doing it too.
What's scary is that if it's the size of a rice, it means that they could slip it in your food. It means if you have a dirty company,
they're doing this to the military. They're all freaking chipped. If you're in the military, you're chipped. They own you.
Oh yes, they do that consciously. They know that they're taking. But what if there was a chip that you can ingest, right? And they can slip it in your food. Then you're really chipped. then you're full of chips, right? You eat like something from Lay's, something from Nestle, something from...
People want to talk about the parapolitical. Here goes. All right. Trump's going around talking about he's going to make America fascist again. And now people are hearing weird trumpets in the sky across Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the sound of friggin' Sarah Palin's bowels every time she opens her mouth for Trump.
Well, listen, I have, well, that's interesting, but I have so many beautiful jewelry, like with angels with trumpets on it. We have several, like 5 bracelets.
Why don't you tell them where they can support MBN, support the Bruce Montalvo show, and support what we do by going to our Etsy store.
Yeah, so try going to Etsy.com/shop/antique obsessions. And you'll see beautiful sterling silver, lots of cherubs. There's got to be a few with trumpets, but I know there's like 5 or 6 right here we're working on. It's like totally beautiful new things, you know. Just hold tight. We got a Tiffany line coming. You're just going to drool. But then you probably need to all save or whatever for them.
That's funny you say drool, because the pedophiles out there are drooling for this next product that's about to come out. Now, I have an article right here in front of me. It says, Japanese company produces lifelike child sex dolls for pedophiles. Jaja, what is happening to this world?
We saw this movie, Goosebumps the other day, right? And
right, and it's funny you say that. The Goosebumps, the G in Goosebumps is, of course, Masonic. I grew up reading the books. My first book was Monster Blood 3. And I can tell you, I mean, they got Masonic checkerboards, demons, and I think the whole Goosebumps theme, those books, I mean, they show menorah when the Abominable Snowman comes out, when they open this book, which to me is symbolic of the Ars Goetia, the 72 demons from Solomon's temple that he would control, basically sorcery. So that's what those books are about. That's
right.
what Goosebumps are.
And when I saw
you noticed something very eerie.
Yeah, I just was a little creeped out with the way. First of all, the guy looked like a weirdo, but whatever.
R.L. Stine, the author.
Yeah, and then there was something like he grabbed the girl, and he just seemed to
on
like.
the cover, he's touching the girl, and it looks like he's like going up her shirt.
But before I saw the cover, I noticed in the movie there was already a strange dichotomy with the two of them. He didn't want to have the young man to talk to his young daughter.
Right.
You know, he's like preventing in a weird way. And
well, here's what makes your intuitions just fact. Is that R.L. Stine actually said that he loves children so much, but he's not allowed within 250 feet of them, which to me is indicative that he got charged with some type of child sex crimes or something.
Yeah.
And they're not telling you about it.
Or he could have been right around, you know, another thing is that I heard with Spike Lee.
So R.L. Stine bought one of these dolls, and that chump Spike Lee, who I made a video of, because I walked around the corner from his joint, he's got a gun that looks like a black freaking phallus that's deflated, telling people to put their guns down, basically trying to take my guns, Spike Lee.
You know what's funny?
You piece of trash.
You know what's funny? You said
scum, you filth, Spike Lee. All right, they should boycott your shitty freaking movies and your Mr. Potato Head orange glasses, Spike Lee. You suck. All right, you stink.
You said Spike Lee's joint, you know, just like fluidly. But you know,
nobody.
But what's funny is that he used to have a store right around the other corner. It's called Spike Lee's joint.
You said he's not around kids either. He's not allowed to be around kids.
Right.
So this fool Spike Lee's a little pedo too, right? Trying to take my guns. 500
feet from where our door is a school, high school. You know, they're kind of dorky and stuff. They're like smart kids. It's like scholarship. I mean, it's a test. They have to get in. They have to take a test.
And it's the school where they filmed Gotham with the giant Lilith owls that have erect phalluses on them.
Yes, they do.
This Masonic school that has a compass on it, and that's why they filmed Gotham Batman there, because it's supposed to resemble the GCPD, Gotham City Police Department. They filmed it out of there. You know why? Because everything in Batman and Gotham, this series, is Masonic. And again, that leads to that freaking slut, hoe, lesbian, freaking Jada Pinkett, who should boycott her own acting.
Okay, so whatever they said, they're kind of right. That's my. I mean, you know,
are they kind of right?
if it's going to be
You know what?
exclusionary,
I agree.
first of all,
I agree with Fox News pundits now.
Okay.
These clueless Fox News pundits. Because, wow.
Sorry,
you see, we're having a complete and total train wreck, folks. I agree with these Fox News pundits now because they should definitely boycott BET Awards. They should definitely boycott all these black people date sites. I mean, that's racist to me. The Boule is racist. And every time they put out a rapper or something now, that guy is more flaming than freaking Castro Street or these neocons that eat coleslaw and talk about how they want to have Trump be the next president of the United States. That's more flaming than that, folks. That's what it is. I mean, these Oscars are run by the Lavender Club. They're run by Laurel Canyon, whose prerequisite to get in is that you got to get bent over and pumped in the fangili by some Laurel Canyon Nazi big shot. Right? But my co-host doesn't agree with me. And now she has officially exited the building, I believe. Wow, really? You're not gonna say anything live on air? Is that it?
Why do I have to if you're gonna keep cutting me off?
Okay, well, what do you have to say? All I'm saying is these people are ignoramuses, they're buffoons, and I don't agree with them.
The minute I say something, Bruce, you keep cutting me off.
So
I
go ahead, state what you want to say.
I'm not here to be a yes person, so if you want me
I'm not here to be a yes person, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you something. Just tune in next week. I will be here every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I don't agree with the Illuminati Oscars. I expose the Illuminati folks. I don't side with them. I'll never want to take your guns. I don't side with Syrian refugees over the American people. I don't think that, it's basically the Jesuits, folks. They're using Islam as a crutch to get into power, folks.
Do you want to know the truth, Bruce?
Oh, okay, the truth. She's back now, folks.
This is what I was going to say.
Making a whole lot of noise.
Yeah. Right. I'm making a whole lot of noise. Because, obviously, you don't want me to raise my voice. Alright? The fact is that whoever's doing the hiring is doing the choosing. Okay? And if they're not picking, there's plenty of talented black people. And that's where...
And we're not against any talented black people. We're going up against the scum, the trash, the filth, the Jada Pinkett's, the Spike Lee's, the clowns. The clowns.
Can I finish the sentence?
Go ahead.
Without getting cut off.
Go ahead.
Thank you. That if people started really looking at who's talented and picking fabulous actors and with fabulous scripts, like we saw this movie, Mr. Pete, the whatever it's called, something Mr. Pete. What's it called?
Pete and the Tragedy of Pete and Mr. or whatever.
That kid should have been nominated, and he should have won. Now the fact is that it comes to the film. Why wasn't that film even up there on the screen? That kid was amazing. And every other actor in there was fabulous. So, I don't care about Jada's performance at the end of the day. That has nothing to do with me. You know what has to do with me with Jada? Jada was wearing the same leather as the interior of my copper bracelets from my Etsy store, Etsy.com, Conceptual Subculture. So you could go to that. I have a 50 off sale. You'll see it Etsy, etsy.com/shop/ and that's Conceptual Subculture, one word. And there's a lot of items actually you'll see with the same deerskin, crocodile, genuine leather that's got like scales all over it, and it's tricolor. It's beautiful. It's like at the interior, it's got bronze, copper, and silver. It's beautiful, and then they used it on her. That's the only thing I have. And why is she like having in so many gay scenes when she's supposed to be a straight woman?
Anyway, as you can see, with the intensity that me and Jaja have against each other, we're definitely snowed in, and we have some cabin fever, folks. I'm about to eat her alive, literally, like if it's the Donner Party.
Maybe you're hungry.
Yeah, what are you going to give me, a Snickers?
You know what?
Maybe you're hungry because
eaten.
you make so much freaking noise anytime you move, folks.
That wasn't my fault.
She makes so much noise.
That wasn't my fault. That was all, I went to get some weed, and then all of our sterling
Go ahead
silver.
and tell the FBI how much weed we have here so they can come in and raid us.
But it was just that the sterling was right there, all like a pile of our
Anyway,
items,
this blizzard is driving us mad. This blizzard is just Snowzilla. It's going insane. It's driving Jaja insane. It's driving me insane. And let me tell you something, folks. I mean, people are just going insane. They are going into the grocery store
and buying out everything.
And it looks like Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. Like, people just all over the place running around, grabbing cans of Campbell's soup and, killing each other to do it. Like my story on the 4th of July when I almost fought this Asian woman over the last bag of hot dog buns.
You're going to start thinking about that too? It was the last bag of hot dog buns.
Anyway, you know what gets me is how they can predict Snowzilla. What, are they doing this with HARP? I mean, when I'm 90 years old, are they going to have some new-fangled, fancy Casio watch that can predict exactly in 5 minutes there will be snow? Is that
9,
where we're heading?
Let me tell you, on January 1st, on New Year's Eve, like 2 years ago, in Times Square, it was Jay-Z and Rihanna, maybe it was 3 years ago, they were performing, and it was like a snow song. They mentioned snow, and it was exactly at the time, at 12 o'clock, there was snow on Rihanna's head. I was like,
you sure it wasn't
the blood clot.
You sure it wasn't like sawdust or anything?
No.
Painted
It was
white?
really snow. Because
spray painted?
It was really, really snow. It was really, like, perfect timing. But it was everybody had snow, and then I had snow outside my window. But it was, like, almost there first. Like, I'm telling you, they can do that. So with the technology of HARP, they can actually make these snowstorms. And what's scary is this. Not only can they predict it and program you and scare the fuck out of you by sending messages on your phone, to wake you up out of your sleep if you're taking a nap. Like, this is an emergency warning test first to see if your phone works. Why? Because you're going to tell me about being snowed in. You know what I'm saying? That why I got to worry about that?
Well, I tell you, they got Snowden's bust that was down the street at our park from Fort Greene Park. The NSA put it there. And now they decided it's art, and they have it over in the Brooklyn Museum. So, I mean, I just figured I'd bring that in.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. The Mason psyop, everything. They now, this guy Snowden is the hero when they really should have put Chelsea Manning's bust. Wouldn't that be more interesting? Like a pair of boobs and an army hat. That would be art.
The only thing that guy proves is
that would be art.
The only thing that guy proves is that the military-industrial complex performed massive Jason Bourne, MK Ultra type experiments on that guy. Because that guy, when he went in, he was just a plain fruit. And then when he went out, I mean, it was like Caitlyn Jenner. And he was like the pre-Caitlyn Jenner. He was like the prototype for all these Caitlyn Jenners. So it's disgusting.
That's why I think
it's
that
disgusting. It disgusts me. Oh, the only people that it doesn't disgust are Kanye West, who loves trannies with cankles.
But I'm not worried about the disgusting aspect. I'm interested in the conceptual aspects of it, and I think as art, it stands interesting as a critical expose on the army.
I think it's disgusting what they did to the kid.
I'm not talking.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
What they did to the kid.
But I'm just talking about
unpatriotic.
But you're talking about a bust of Snowden, a real
they gave
bust,
him the
sculpture.
3rd degree. Not Snowden. I'm talking about Manning.
I know you mentioned a bust of Snowden, and I said I would be more interested to see a bust of Chelsea Manning with her boobs and the army hat. Because that would be conceptually more interesting.
Moving on, folks.
And a good social commentary.
Moving on, folks.
Yes, okay.
Before we go, if you love the Bruce Montalvo show, which of course you do, how could you not? You hear the cutting edge of just spectacular, off-the-wall news that we cover, like the robot revolution taking 5 million jobs from humans, which is complete bullshit because I had Noel Sharkey here, who basically explained that this cannot happen because robots are simply moronical slaves. I mean, they move all jerky and retarded. The only robots that probably can take over and kill us are
BB-8s?
the Terminator robots. Not BB-8. He's cute. Not BB-8. Only robots that can get us are the Terminator robots that they have over in DARPA or Area 51 or all these other places that are co-opted by the freaking Russians. Right? Who knows how many Terminator robots they got on the down low, folks. For real. And here's another story I found interesting that pretty much proves, because we watched The Martian the other day, and I saw that one of the astronauts had a Nazi pose while he was hanging in anti-gravity, and he also had a German patch. So it just goes to prove we're not going up against Russia, folks. Okay? We're not fighting Russia in Syria. We created a proxy army for them to fight and have war games with that we call CIA ISIS. That's not radical Islam. They're radical CIA Islam. So here's the proof that we're working with Russia, folks. It's an article out of Red Flag. It states Russia appears to have a space weapon in orbit around Earth. Right? That's American Nazi NASA working with the Russians. That's part of the secret space program, the One World Order. The Nazis have been beta testing these little satellites and these little trinkets of theirs for a long time, haven't they? All right. I mean, what did you think of The Martian before we go? We got a couple of minutes left. Maybe we can talk about that.
It was a good movie. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I think it was
Did you see the guy spinning in anti-gravity? He did a swastika.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The ancient Hindu sign.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, it's a mystery to me.
It's clear they're working together. To me, it's clear that they're working together. And here's what's funny to me is, they're going out of their way now in Japan to remove swastikas from, like, their tour guides because it's offending people now. So now Japan has joined the PC club. I mean, these are people who
doesn't make sense.
These are people who have restaurants with toilets.
Actually, it's a backwards swastika. Automatically identified it as a swastika. So I wrote them a letter. I told them, and I gave them the provenance and the piece itself, that it's the article about the piece, and it's an Asian sign, it could be read that way. Just like because I didn't want to have any problems, because immediately upon listing it, it reads, you get a red line. It appears as if you're attempting to upload sells an item that's of the swastika. It might be scrutinized, because they don't want any Nazi paraphernalia of certain sorts, It could be like war relics, but it can't be. It's strange, their policy. I don't know what's going on with eBay. But can I mention a cancer treatment? Because I came across an article.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was really cool, and I want people to look it up.
Nobody's gonna cut us off except you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can go on and on.
They'll make a whole bunch of noise while you tell the people this article either. Don't clang a bunch of pots together.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Go ahead. You got the article.
Okay, the article is called "Oncologists Don't Like Baking Soda Cancer Treatments Because It's Effective and Too Cheap," and it's about Dr. Serkis's baking soda and maple syrup treatment, and it's totally really cheap. I mean, it's a totally.
Does he have two brothers named Barnum and Bailey?
Yes, he does.
Okay, go on.
But you guys should read this article if anybody has or knows anybody with cancer, or if you want to do some preventative, you can actually do that with a little baking soda and maple syrup. They do recommend. This article is really great because what I found in it is that they give you the recipes and I could get up this. What is baking soda? It's a white crystalline solid. Oh, you get the human grade. Do not. I repeat. Do not use Arm & Hammer's baking soda. And
you can tell right just by looking at the Arm & Hammer logo. It's the Masonic G and hammer right on the logo. So they don't want you to be healthy, folks.
Yeah, make sure it says organic or human grade food consumption, pure baking soda. You can get. I see them all over eBay, Amazon. There's plenty of places everywhere you could just order it. And it's a white crystalline powder. What they do is you mix it. Some of them, if you have a bad case of cancer, I think you heat it up, and you heat up the maple syrup, and they give you the dosages. That's what I like about this particular article. They give you and the whole thing has to do with the pH scale of your body, and that's the acidity in your body is what creates cancer. And sometimes you eat too much food, that doesn't balance right, or a certain kind of food, or certain things you're just ingesting. I guess you need to keep yourself in a pH balanced state, and you could do that in many ways. Some people are consistently taking apple cider vinegar, the organic stuff. There's other remedies like eating an apple a day, for example. That should kind of keep your pH balance to a really good level.
That's good. That's very good, job. But unfortunately, we are out of time. And I want to end this broadcast by just reminding the listeners of when they watch TV. Okay, it's basically a weapon system being aimed at you, brainwashing you. It's literally like They Live, where these bastards like Spike Lee and Jada Pinkett, if you put the glasses on, they're aliens, folks. All right, they're aliens who want to be Pleiadians and are bitching about the golden age of the gods that started in Egypt. So the Oscars aren't white. The Oscars are Egyptian, folks. Okay? And it's a whole scene out of Laurel Canyon. It's divide and conquer. They want to separate people from race. I'm not against anyone, folks. I am a libertarian. My ideals are pure. They're rooted in American exceptionalism, folks. I believe in America first. I believe in you, the listener. And I want to thank you for tuning in every Friday to the excellence of radio.
That movie was called The Inevitable Defeat of Mr. Pete, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember
that one. That kid should join Denzel and Whoopi and Halle Berry and all of them. Because they want to talk about, they've given the Golden Pleiadian Osiris to other black actors. So I don't know what they're complaining about. It's just coincides and colludes with the whole Black Lives Matter, communist, Bernie Sanders socialism is great agenda, and I don't buy it one bit.
Okay,
folks.
Because the only reason why is because what Jada didn't say. It's one thing to say there's not enough black people. Well, why doesn't she then present movies that she thought would be of value?
I don't think she's an authority because her acting is horrendous. Anyway, folks, we're out of time. Thank you for listening to the best in alternative media. We're here every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and if you want to listen to us, just go to your Android, your iPhone, your iPad. Find us on TalkStream Live. Go to Spreaker.com, live shows. We're there every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to Etsy.com. Support us there. You can donate to the show by going to PayPal.com. Just use the Bruce Montalvo Show at gmail.com. Use coupon codes BruceNY over at eastbymall.com and LeCharmUSA.com. Use coupon code BruceNY for some of the best organic tea right out of California, folks. I'm working for you. I'm not some swap meet freaking slanger working for the CIA. I am true blue Americana, and my wife is too.
That's right. He's Bruce the Trooper.
That's right. Just like the Iron Maiden's trooper, folks. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
At Circle K, you can get the freshest cup of coffee in the world. Yeah, we know what you're thinking. How'd you get away with saying that on the radio? Well, it's actually true. Every cup of Circle K coffee is ground fresh right when you want it. That means that for a beautiful, mind-boggling, mouth-watering split second, your cup is the freshest on earth. Every cup ground fresh at Circle K. Refills starting at just $1. Limited time only at participating locations.
Bruce Montalvo, Bruce Montalvo.
Continues to spread conspiracy theories.
Penchant for promoting bogus conspiracies as though they were fact.
Montalvo, Bruce Montalvo.
About his conspiracy theory.
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
Bruce Montalvo is the only radio talk show host that's not controlled.
Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
Hi, this is Jaja. Come shop with us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Sign up for Poshmark using our code anticulture. That way you can have $5 in your pocket when you join up and you can buy something from our store. We have mad stuff like upcycle things, Armani, Hurley, O'Neill. We upcycling all kinds of things like LL Bean. And plus we got our tie-dyes and just mad stuff. Just come check us out. Also, you can sell your own stuff too using the Poshmark app. But sign in first using our code anticulture. And you can find us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Or when you're up in there, just at anticulture us. And you can look under the people. Check you out. Peace.
Montalvo Broadcasting Network.